Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be watching a video called 15 Practical Things That Dutch Do Better Than Americans. Start.
Being a country of efficiency, sustainability, and practicality. And in many ways, the Dutch have mastered the art of doing things better than the average American. Whether it's getting around, working smarter, or living sustainably, the Dutch approach often feels more thought out, functional, and adaptable to modern life.
It's true.
So, what's the secret? How is it that a small country like the Netherlands can excel in so many practical ways? Let's find that out in this video. 1. Efficient public transportation system.
Absolutely.
Let's face it, public transportation in the US
Sucks.
is often frustrating. You've probably been late to work because of a delayed subway, or maybe you've been stuck in traffic because the bus system isn't as reliable. That's where the Dutch shine. The Netherlands has one of the most efficient, punctual, and accessible public transportation systems in the world.
Yes, this is in the world.
In major cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and Utrecht, you can hop on a train, tram,
What a
or
weird
bus
sculpture.
and know exactly when it will arrive, and more importantly, when it will leave. Timeliness is a big deal in Dutch transportation, and it's rare to see a delay longer than 5 minutes.
My God.
Whether you're heading to work, going to the grocery store, or catching a flight, there's a reliable option for getting where you need to go without hassle.
That's incredible.
But it's not just about timeliness. The affordability of Dutch public transportation is another area where the US falls short. Tickets are reasonably priced, and with the OV chip card,
What
a
is
smart
that?
card system, you can travel seamlessly across all modes of transport, tapping in and out of buses, trains, and trams without needing to juggle different tickets or apps.
That's great.
One of the biggest benefits of the Dutch system is its environmental impact. With extensive bike lanes, reliable public transportation, and an emphasis on reducing car dependence, the Dutch have built a system that is both practical and sustainable. In the US, car ownership is often seen as essential, but in the Netherlands, the
Yeah,
choice
it's
of
not
taking
important.
public transport or biking often feels like the easier, quicker,
so many bikes.
and more environmentally friendly option. 2. Emphasis on cycling culture. Okay, let's talk about biking. If you've been to the Netherlands, you know that bicycles are everywhere. I mean everywhere. It's not unusual to see entire streets lined with bikes, and biking isn't just a hobby.
That's crazy.
It's a way of life. This level of cycling culture is something that's hard to find in many parts
Oh my
of the
God, there was
US,
a little boy
where biking
in the
infrastructure
basket.
is often minimal or non-existent in comparison. The Dutch have made biking the primary mode of transportation for millions of people. In cities across the country, bike lanes are as common as sidewalks, and they are often designed to be safe and efficient. It's not unusual to see people biking to work, school, or the grocery
Just
store.
like everywhere.
In fact, nearly 40% of Dutch people use a bicycle on a daily basis.
Almost,
The infrastructure
almost
is
half.
so good that biking feels safe and convenient. Dedicated bike lanes separate cyclists from both pedestrians and cars, which reduces the risk of accidents. Plus, there are plenty of bike parking garages in the city center to
This is
keep your
insane.
ride safe. Not to mention, most Dutch bikes are designed to be durable and practical, not just stylish.
Oh.
In contrast, many American cities lack proper biking infrastructure. In some places, biking is relegated to sidewalks, which can be dangerous and inconvenient.
Where they're putting all those
And
stuff in
while
there.
cycling is becoming more popular in some cities, it's still far from being a primary mode of transport. The Dutch make biking easy, fast, healthy, and eco-friendly, a true model for others to follow. 3. The Tikkie payment system.
The Tikkie.
The
What's
Dutch
that?
have found a way to make paying your friends back easier than ever before,
Like
thanks
Venmo?
to Tikkie. Tikkie is a mobile payment system that allows you to send instant payment links to anyone, whether you're splitting a dinner bill or reimbursing someone for a gift. You just send the link through WhatsApp, and your friend can pay directly through their bank account. Let's face it, splitting bills in America can be awkward. Who's going to pay the bill? Do you have cash? Or will you use Venmo? How do you calculate the tip? All of these questions can make the simple task of paying back your friends more complicated than it needs to be. With Tikkie, there's no need for those awkward conversations.
Awkward.
The app eliminates the need for cash and makes splitting expenses quick and easy. In the US, while services like Venmo,
Yeah, that's most popular.
PayPal, and Cash App are common, Tikkie takes simplicity to the next level by integrating with the country's banking system in a seamless way. Plus, it's free to use. It's no wonder that many Dutch people prefer Tikkie. It's efficient, practical, and eliminates the usual hassle around handling money between friends. 4. Minimalist, high-quality grocery stores. When you walk into a
What's the
Dutch
difference?
supermarket, one of the first things you'll notice is how much simpler it feels compared to American grocery
In
stores.
what way?
Dutch supermarkets are usually smaller, more efficient,
okay.
and have not a straightforward layout. You won't find aisles and aisles of processed foods or an overwhelming number of choices.
Okay.
Instead, the emphasis is placed on fresh, high-quality produce and efficient shopping. This minimalist approach makes for a faster shopping experience.
Because you have less
You
options.
can quickly grab what you need without feeling overwhelmed by the sheer volume of choices. Dutch grocery stores also make it easier to avoid impulse purchases, since there's less junk food and unnecessary
Again,
distractions.
like, yeah, fewer options.
Another key
it's more
difference
efficient.
is that many Dutch supermarkets offer affordable prices for organic and local products.
What? That's
In the
that's super
US,
cheap.
organic food often comes with a premium price
Yeah.
tag, but in the Netherlands, it's integrated into the mainstream grocery
Oh my
shopping
God, love it.
experience. The emphasis is on eating healthy and reducing food waste, which benefits both the consumer and the environment.
Except for the plastic covering the
5.
fruit. But let's ignore
Sustainable
that.
and smart home features. The Dutch are known for their eco-consciousness.
Is that a
That
house?
extends to the way they design and build their homes. In many Dutch homes, you'll find energy-efficient appliances, water-saving systems, and an overall focus on sustainability.
Oh my God, the houses
Dutch
are in the
buildings
water.
are often highly insulated, which helps reduce energy consumption. Solar panels are common,
Really?
and water-saving fixtures are standard in most homes.
Wow.
Compare this to the typical American home, where energy-efficient features may not be as widespread, and water consumption can often be wasteful.
Yeah.
In the US, many homes rely on air conditioning or heating systems
Yeah.
that are less efficient than the Dutch methods. And using water-saving fixtures or investing in solar power is less common. The benefits of this sustainable approach are numerous. Not only does it reduce the household's carbon footprint, but it also
It's
saves
cheaper.
money in the long run.
Yeah.
With lower energy bills and a smaller environmental impact, the Dutch approach to home design is both practical and forward-thinking. 6. Practical and efficient work. Culture. The Dutch have a work culture that is surprisingly balanced compared to the American work culture. While Americans are often known for working long hours, the Dutch prefer a more balanced approach, where productivity and work-life
As it
balance go
should. Yeah,
hand in
because the
hand.
productivity goes up.
The standard work week in the Netherlands is typically shorter than in the US, and there's a strong emphasis on ensuring that employees have enough time for their personal lives. In the US, it's not uncommon to find workers putting in overtime or even working on weekends.
Yeah.
This can lead to burnout, decreased productivity, and strained relationships. In the Netherlands, however, the focus is on getting the work done efficiently during the workday and then leaving work at the office. This leads
Yeah,
to
like
happier
separate them.
employees, more productive workdays, and a healthier lifestyle overall. 7. Health-conscious lifestyle. The Dutch have a strong emphasis on an active, health-conscious lifestyle. Walking or biking to work is common, and public spaces are designed to encourage outdoor
It was like
activities.
an orange bike. That's so
Compare
pretty.
this to the typical American lifestyle, where many people rely on cars for commuting, and physical
there are no
activity
other
often
options.
takes a back seat to convenience. In the Netherlands, the infrastructure is set up to make walking and cycling easier, which encourages people to stay active throughout the day. Additionally, the Dutch diet tends to focus on fresh,
What is that?
locally sourced ingredients, with an emphasis on healthy eating. This makes it easier for people to maintain a balanced lifestyle, which is beneficial for both physical health and overall well-being.
Yeah, of course.
In the US, the reliance on cars, fast food, and sedentary office jobs often leads to a less active lifestyle. The Dutch approach, which integrates activity into daily life, fosters stronger communities and better health outcomes in the long run.
Yeah, people are
8.
healthier.
Water conservation and hydration. In the US,
Hydration?
it's all too common to see people leaving the tap running while brushing their
Oh, come
teeth,
on, don't do that.
washing dishes,
No.
or even using water inefficiently when watering lawns.
Well, the
The
watering
Dutch,
off lawn,
however,
yeah.
are incredibly mindful of their water usage, which is reflected in both their everyday habits and their approach to infrastructure. For instance, water-saving appliances are a standard feature in Dutch homes. Low-flow faucets and shower heads, water-efficient dishwashers, and toilets that reduce water consumption without sacrificing performance are just the beginning.
didn't
What
know they had
really
all
sets
those
the
things.
Dutch apart is how they've integrated water conservation into their daily life. For example, many Dutch people carry reusable water bottles and refill them throughout the day.
Yeah.
Especially because tap water in the Netherlands is some of the cleanest, purest, and safest water
In the whole
you can
country?
get. It's almost a given that
That's incredible.
you'll never find a need to buy bottled water when you're in the Netherlands.
love it.
Tap water is as good as it gets. And while in the US, bottled water is a massive industry, in the Netherlands, tap water is so high quality and so widely
don't need
accepted
it.
that purchasing bottled water is, quite frankly, a little absurd.
Okay. Love
By
it.
reusing water bottles and opting for tap water, the Dutch have not only reduced their reliance on plastic bottles, but also made water conservation a social norm. This emphasis on sustainability in water use helps reduce plastic waste, and it encourages more responsible water consumption. The knock-on benefits are significant: conserved natural resources, reduced energy consumption for production and transportation of bottled water, and a more eco-friendly approach to living.
Yeah, because you have less
So,
plastic
while
in there.
Americans may be more inclined to turn to bottled water, the Dutch are setting a sustainable example
but I
for
think in
how
the
to
US
stay
the water is not
hydrated
safe.
while also protecting the planet. Quick pause. Are you loving these Dutch life hacks as much as we are? If so, hit that subscribe button. We're on a mission to reach 1,500 awesome subscribers, and we want you to be part of the crew. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. More quirky, practical, and fun content is on the
It's a
way.
spring onion.
So, what are you waiting for? Join the journey. 9. Smart, multi-purpose furniture and home design.
What?
Dutch homes are often quite a bit smaller than their American counterparts, and that's one of the reasons why space maximization is a major priority in the Netherlands.
Okay, yeah, I would guess.
But what's truly impressive is how the Dutch use their homes as functional, organized spaces. In the US, many homes are large, sometimes excessively so, and a lot of furniture can end up being purely decorative rather than serving a real practical
Oh,
function.
okay.
This is where the Dutch really excel. They are masters of smart, multi-purpose furniture that helps maximize space and reduce clutter. Take, for example, convertible tables and foldable furniture.
What?
In the Netherlands, you'll find dining tables that double as desks,
Oh my
or
God.
extendable tables that can transform from a small breakfast nook to a full dining table for
Oh
guests.
my God, that's incredible.
Many Dutch homes have furniture that serves multiple purposes, such as couches that fold out into beds or desks that convert into dining tables.
Oh my God, I've never seen that in my life.
This emphasis on functional furniture helps people make the most of small spaces. And that's particularly important in urban areas where square footage is at a premium.
Oh my God, it's a whole bed.
Multifunctional spaces are another hallmark of Dutch home design. Dutch homes often feature open-plan layouts where rooms are designed to serve more than one purpose.
Yeah.
A living room may also function as a home office or a dining area. The emphasis is on reducing the need for large, bulky items that take up valuable space. In contrast, in the US, larger homes often result in rooms that are dedicated to specific purposes.
Yeah.
A formal dining room, a guest room that rarely gets used, etc.,
Yeah.
which can lead to wasted space and
It's true.
unnecessary
I never thought
clutter.
of that.
Ultimately, the benefits of these space-saving habits are obvious. A tidier, more organized home, a higher level of
smaller.
functionality, and an overall more efficient use of space. Plus, these homes tend to feel less overwhelming, more comfortable, and much easier to maintain than the
Yeah, like
larger,
cozier.
more cluttered homes that are common in many American suburbs. 10. Efficient bike parking systems. Biking is an essential part of life in the Netherlands, and the Dutch have made sure that bike parking is just as efficient as the biking infrastructure itself.
Oh my God, was
If
it a
you've been to the
parking lot, a
Netherlands,
bike parking
you'll know
lot?
exactly what I mean. Bike parking in Dutch cities is incredibly well organized. In major cities like Amsterdam, Rotterdam, and The Hague, you'll find multi-level bike parking garages near train stations and city
to me is
centers.
insane.
These bike parking garages are designed to keep bikes secure and organized, with designated spaces to lock up your ride. Compare this to the bike parking situation in many American cities, and you'll quickly see
Chaotic.
the difference. In many places in the US, bike parking can be a chaotic experience. Bikes are often left leaning against trees,
Yeah.
poles, or anywhere that seems convenient.
Yeah.
This can lead to cluttered streets and makes it easier for bikes to be stolen. In the Netherlands, however, bikes are parked in well-maintained
I
racks
think we can still.
or garages
someone
that
can
keep
do
them
about
safe from theft
bike.
and organized, ensuring that there's no unnecessary clutter on the streets. Not only do these systems help keep cities organized and bike theft at bay, but they also contribute to a more efficient transportation system.
Look at empty spaces. I've never
In a
seen
country
that.
where cycling is a primary mode of transport, ensuring that bikes have a secure place to be stored is essential. It makes biking more convenient for everyone, and it
literally like a
supports the
parking lot, but
overall
with
culture of
bikes.
cycling that the Dutch have built. 11. Straightforward and transparent politics.
Less
When it comes to
corruption?
politics, the Dutch are a stark contrast to their American counterparts. While American politics can often feel divided, partisan, and opaque, the Dutch approach is much more transparent and inclusive. One of the key differences is the Dutch focus on consensus building. Instead of having
Well,
a
they have a
clear-cut
king,
winner
right?
and loser in political debates, the Dutch emphasize collaboration and compromise. This is evident in the way their government works. Coalition governments are the norm in the Netherlands, where different political parties come together to find common ground on important issues.
As it should be.
What's especially notable is how transparent Dutch politics are. In the US, political information is often difficult to navigate, with complex terminology and partisan spin. In contrast, Dutch political systems are designed to be clear and accessible to the general public.
That's good.
Citizens have easy access to information about the political process, the government's activities, and the decisions that affect their lives.
As
The
it
government
should
makes
be.
a conscious effort to keep its policies and decision-making processes open to public scrutiny. The benefits of this system are numerous.
All the
For one,
benefits.
it fosters a more engaged and informed citizenry. People feel empowered to participate in political discussions, knowing that they can access accurate information and voice their opinions without feeling overwhelmed by jargon or partisan rhetoric. It also leads to more effective decision-making, as policies are often the result of widespread debate and consensus building, rather than a win-at-all-costs mentality.
Yeah, it's like
In
negotiating.
contrast, American politics often feels more polarized,
Yeah.
with partisan bickering dominating the public discourse. The US political system is also notoriously difficult to navigate for average citizens, with many feeling disconnected from the decisions that affect their lives.
Yeah.
The Dutch system, by prioritizing transparency and collaboration, provides a model for a more inclusive and accessible political process.
Yeah, because you feel
12.
involved.
Effective recycling systems. When it comes to recycling, the Dutch have a pretty well-oiled machine in place. In the US, recycling systems can be a bit of a wild card, depending on where
This
you live.
looks gnarly.
Some places have great programs, while others, well, let's just say the rules
Yeah.
are less clear, and the execution isn't always up to par. The Dutch, on the other hand, have streamlined their recycling process to the point where it's almost second nature for everyone.
Yeah, it's in
First
their
off,
culture
in the
then.
Netherlands, recycling is taken seriously, and they make it incredibly easy for everyone to participate. Most households have multiple bins for different types of waste. One for plastic, one for paper, one for glass, and even bins for organic waste.
Incredible.
It's so organized that it feels almost like a game, trying to get the right item into the right bin.
Yeah, don't make me
It's part of the culture there. It's expected that everyone does their part. And you don't just throw everything out on trash day. Oh no. You separate everything and do it right.
Of course.
Plus, the collection systems are super efficient. The Dutch have made recycling easy and convenient,
I've never seen
with
those
frequent pickup
machines in my
schedules and
life, I have
bins
to say.
located near most neighborhoods. They've also introduced special machines for collecting plastic bottles,
Oh, okay. So it's
giving people a small incentive to return bottles.
okay.
That means less litter on the streets and a cleaner environment overall.
Oh my god, those machines
benefits.
are also new to me.
Fewer landfills, reduced pollution, and a country that leads the way in sustainability. By sticking to a clear and simple process, the Dutch can recycle more efficiently and make the most of their resources. It's an easy-to-follow, everyday habit that makes a huge impact on their overall environmental footprint. So, yeah, while you may still be struggling to figure out your city's recycling rules, the Dutch are out there leading the way.
They're already like
Way
way,
to go,
ahead,
Netherlands.
way ahead of you.
13. Timely, high-quality customer service. If you've ever had a customer service experience in the US, you know it can be a mixed bag. Sometimes you'll get a super friendly, fast service rep, and other times you're stuck on hold for what feels like hours, only to get a response that barely addresses your problem. In the Netherlands, customer service tends to be much more efficient and polite. It's not that Americans are rude,
Yeah.
they're not. But the Dutch really know how to keep things moving and get to the point, Take a simple phone call or email to resolve an issue. Dutch customer service reps are quick to respond and deal with your request without any unnecessary waiting. You don't need to spend an eternity trying to get through to someone. Dutch companies pride themselves on prompt responses. Whether it's a question about a bill, a refund, or a product inquiry, you can expect a response in a timely manner. You won't have to spend your afternoon going through automated prompts or waiting endlessly to speak with a human being.
That's awful.
Moreover, the communication is clear, direct, and professional. The Dutch don't waste time with excessive pleasantries or beating around the bush. They'll address your concerns right away and offer a solution without unnecessary
back and forth. Can everyone be like this, please?
That kind of straightforwardness helps reduce frustration on both sides.
Yes!
No confusion, no long explanations, just clear, honest service. For consumers, that means a smoother and more pleasant transaction. You'll get your answers quickly, and things get resolved efficiently. It's a level of customer service that keeps your day moving without causing stress. So, next time you're in the Netherlands, you might find that you actually look forward to customer service interactions.
Well, I don't know if I would go that far, but
14.
Good to know.
Potluck birthday parties. Now let's talk about Dutch birthday
parties. Oh my god,
parties.
is that a norm?
If you've ever been to a birthday party in the US, you know how much effort goes into making sure there's enough food, drinks, decorations, and everything else to make the event feel complete. The Dutch take a different approach, one that's both practical and social. Potluck birthday parties. Instead of the host running around trying to provide everything, the guests pitch in by bringing their own food or drinks to share.
Oh my god, that's crazy.
At first glance, this might sound a bit strange, but hear me out. Potluck parties allow everyone to share the responsibility for the celebration, and it makes the event feel more communal.
Yeah,
everyone brings something that they enjoy.
But is it always?
And the party becomes less about one person trying to make everything perfect, and more about sharing and enjoying each other's contributions. Not only does this save time and reduce the stress on the host, but it also helps reduce expenses. Why should the host foot the bill for an extravagant spread when everyone can chip in?
Good
also makes the party more interactive. Guests get to sample each other's cooking or drinks, and it creates a much more laid-back, inclusive atmosphere. Plus, it saves the host from the anxiety of having to spend hours in the kitchen or worrying if there will be enough food.
Yeah, or like catering.
The next time you're invited to a Dutch birthday party, don't be surprised when you're asked to bring something along.
Have to bring. Oh, they tell you what to bring. I have so many questions about it.
No-nonsense communication. One of the most well-known cultural traits of the Dutch is their straightforward, no-nonsense communication style. It's something that can definitely catch you off guard if you're used to more roundabout ways of speaking, like in the US and America. We tend to soften the message with politeness, indirectness, or, let's be honest, a little sugarcoating. But the Dutch? They prefer to get straight to the point. No fluff included. This directness might seem rude or blunt to an outsider, but it's actually one of the things that makes communication in the Netherlands more efficient. Dutch people don't waste time trying to guess what others mean. They say what they mean, and they mean what they say.
It's better, I think.
So if you ask a Dutch person for their opinion, you can expect a clear and honest answer, whether it's positive or negative. No playing around with vague statements or hedging. The Dutch also appreciate when others are equally straightforward with them, which makes for clearer communication and better problem solving. The benefits of this style are pretty obvious. Less confusion, more efficiency, and quicker decision-making. You can get things done faster when everyone is on the same page and not bogged down by excessive politeness. While it may feel a bit harsh at first, you'll quickly realize that Dutch communication is refreshing in its honesty and clarity.
Yeah, they're not doing it on purpose.
It's a culture where people know exactly where they stand and can make decisions without any unnecessary back and forth. So if you want to get straight to the point, just ask a Dutch person. They'll make sure you get the answer you need.
They'll not beat around the bush.
And we are done here. So, next time you find yourself in the Netherlands, take a moment to appreciate how seamlessly everything works around you. Maybe even take a few notes. You might just find some inspiration to bring a little bit of Dutch practicality into your own life.
Okay, yeah, this is very interesting. There are some things that I think are are like, I have so many questions, especially the birthday one. Just because I get what you mean. Like sometimes you do have like some sort of like say like potluck birthday, but I'm surprised that's the norm, because otherwise I've seen that when you have like a get together, not just like a birthday party, like you'll tell your guests or the ones that you're inviting, like you're gonna tell them, hey, you know, it's a potluck thing, but you have to actually let them know that this is the way it's gonna go. But I didn't know. That was so shocking to me that in the Netherlands, like that's the norm. Like if someone has a birthday party, they're expecting like it's a potluck. I'm not expecting to be, you know, I have to bring something. It's not just like my presence and that's it. Sometimes, because I think sometimes, well, not a birthday party, I think, but maybe when you're in a different kind of party or you're like in a get together, like it's I think it's common, not always, but I think, well, it depends on the person. Maybe you'll bring something because, you know, you're thanking them, right? So you're bringing like a bottle of wine, some flowers, dessert, I don't know, some sort of like thing, just because they're inviting you. But at a birthday, I think because usually on birthday, like someone is inviting you to their birthday party, like I'm expecting and I'm like assuming that they already have like the whole thing planned. So I'm not expecting, like I'm not gonna bring them anything because except you know, a birthday present, because they already like have the whole thing sorted out. So it's not. I think it's a bit different. Because again, it's a birthday party, and usually, you know, it involves other things, and I'm guessing like the ones organizing the whole thing have it like organized, unless they explicitly tell you, hey, it's gonna be a potluck, so, you know, either bring something or they'll tell you like, hey, we need this, right? But I'm surprised by this, and I'm wondering, like, do they tell you, like, is it a potluck in the sense of like they'll tell you, hey, you know, my birthday party is like this Wednesday at 7 at my house. And they'll just like, okay, but what do I have to bring? Or they'll tell you just, hey, you know, it's in this at this hour, like this and this at this place, and I need you to bring, I don't know, like a cheese bread, I don't know, whatever. We need to bring some chopped fruit, I don't know, whatever. But they'll tell you, or is it gonna be like, I'm just guessing, because I'm guessing it's not gonna be like that. That doesn't seem efficient. So I'm wondering, like they'll let you know, like what do you need? Because it's like, okay, so everyone brings like a soda, and there's like a bunch of sodas. If no one, like, no, you have to bring this and you have to bring that, otherwise, or maybe you have like a bunch of cookies and it's like, no, we don't have anything else. No, I'm guessing they'll let you know, and they'll tell you, hey, I need sodas. So it's like, okay, so I'll bring that, and then you tell other person like, hey, we need snacks, but like salty snacks, do not bring sweet snacks. So, but I'm super shocked, but I get the like the logic behind it. It's like, yeah, of course, because it's less pressure on the host, because when you're hosting an event, of course you're going to be pressured because you want your guests to have a good time, and it's going to be, of course, and sometimes you don't really even get to enjoy it because you're so worried about them like having a good time, and hey, you know, are you guys okay? Like, do I have to? And obviously all the preparation that went beforehand, like, you know, I'm hosting people, so I need to sort out the food, the drinks, you know, the decoration, the cake. If it's a birthday, you know, I have to, it's less pressure. And I like the fact that it's like, they say it's like more community based, because everyone sort of like chips in, and it's like, hey, no pressure, like the idea, because I think at the end of the day, like, what's a birthday party and parties in general? Like, all the other stuff is just a plus. Like, you just want to have a good time with people that you care about and people that you love. So at the end of the day, it's like, that's what it is, right? It's like, hey, I don't want you to like feel pressured into something like this. It's just like, hey, we're having fun, because at the end of the day, that's what it is. It's a celebration. So it's like, it's okay. Like, do not be like, oh my god, like I'm running, I don't know, like I have to cater like the food or whatever. That I'm wondering also if like that's just birthday parties or get-togethers in general, or if you have like a wedding, it's gonna be like that as well, that you have to like bring something and they'll tell you, or it's just specifically for birthday parties. I don't know, but it sounds nice. Again, it's like you're gonna the spirit can be like lost a little bit when you have like all those like a little pressure of like, oh, everything has to be perfect. And in this case, it's like, again, just like relax. I think that can be like those are probably like just taking into account like a bunch of the things and most of the things. I think everything it's like that. It's more about reducing things to like their basic like, I don't know, like their basic purpose, because I think when compared all of the things, like even like the workplace balance, you know, the birthday parties, I can't like all those things, even like the house thing that, you know, they have smaller houses and stuff. it's like everything I think can be sort of like reduced and everything can be traced back to, I think that in the United States, it's more about like, well, everything is sort of like a consequence of as well, because it's like people work a lot. So there's like this culture of like, oh, you have to like work all the time, and you have to work all the time. Then obviously you're not going to have like a good work-life balance. You're maybe going to neglect a little bit of like, if you're not eating healthy foods, if you're not getting enough exercise. And again, that's sort of like a consequence of that sort of like culture. And again, everything can be traced back to that. You know, you choose, oh, I have to be like, you have to be practical in that because that's my lifestyle. And in the Netherlands, it's like the opposite, because everything's more balanced, but it's because they work less. Then it's like, oh, they have more emphasis on like getting like healthier foods, for instance. The grocery store one, it's like, yeah, everything, like they have fewer things and it's more practical, but because at the end of the day, like what should a grocery store be? It's like, it's not, I know that it's good to have options, but again, it's like, it's the add-on. I think in the United States, you're used to having like so many options. Everything's so big, like everything's like a lot of, it's flashier. And I think in the Netherlands, probably things are like, it's more basic, because at the end of the day, it's a practical society. So you just want, hey, I want milk. It's like you have two options. That's it. Grab them and go, like, because it's practical. You at the end of the day, what do you want? You want milk. So that's what it is. And I think that that's probably what I'm going with it. It's like everything is sort of like more basic, because everything is like that. It's less flashier. So you take less of the add-ons, and in the United States, it's a different culture, and it's a lot like, oh, you need a lot of like options. Everything's flashier, everything's bigger, and it's like, well, yeah, that's I think the difference. But I think everything can be traced back to that, and especially I think the work thing. It's like, not to get too into it, but I think the capitalism of it all, of the United States, because obviously you have to like work a lot. I think that's probably why things are like they are in the United States, and I think probably that's why it's so different in the Netherlands. But also I like the fact of like the politics ones, that apparently they have like less corruption, which is great, because apparently everything's very transparent, which again, more countries should be like that. And everything, I don't know if it's also because it's a smaller country, so because it's a smaller country, maybe it's easier and it's less probably centralized, because I think in a place like the United States and bigger countries, because they're so big and everything shouldn't be centralized, because of course if you live 1,000 miles away in a little town, it's so far removed from like what you're seeing on the news, on like what happens on the Capitol, and all those like big decisions big political decisions that politicians make. And if you're like so far removed from that, of course it's gonna feel like, well, I don't know, like that life, it's very different from the life I'm leading on, and from what I'm seeing in my daily life. So I think maybe I don't think I'm pretty like the United States, because obviously that's what it is, but I think a lot of bigger countries have that problem. So it's not just that, but yeah, again, maybe I don't know if it's the fact that the Netherlands is like a smaller country, it makes it a little bit easier to have that transparency, and that maybe the politicians it's normal maybe to just like see them around and stuff, because well, it's again, it's a smaller country, so it's not that hard for you, and it doesn't feel that far removed from your life, because everything's like, I don't know, the distances are smaller. So I'm wondering if that like makes a little bit of a difference. And also I have to finish with the directness one. I don't think it's just a Dutch thing. I think it's very European, that Europeans tend to be like very direct, and it's a bit shocking. I think at first. Not again generalizing. I know not all Europeans are like that, but usually they tend to be like their communication is more direct, and it can be a little bit shocking at first when you first encounter them, because I think if you're not used to it, it can feel a little bit like, oh my god, like calm, like there's a bit of like, why are they acting like that? They're very like direct, and it can feel a little I don't know, maybe like, do they hate me or something? It's like, no, it's a way that they're used to, and again, they're not going to sugarcoat anything, and they're going to be direct and straight to the point. And I think that in the United States, people are more like, oh, like hello, they're nicer and they do a lot of like pleasant small talk. And I think in general Europeans are not like that, so it can be a little bit shocking when you first encounter them. Not just Dutch people. It's like, oh, okay, but it's I think their way of life and their culture, and it's not personal. It's like, don't take it personal. But yeah, I like that. Again, it's very direct. So if you ask for honesty, like they're gonna tell you. And again, don't take it personal. But it's well, you ask for it. Like if you want my opinion, I'm gonna give it to you, so you better be prepared. But also they're expecting the same, like if they ask you something. So it's like, okay, it's a bit of an adjustment situation. But I think it's funny that they do mention it, because I think it's a little bit like that. But yeah, this was a really enjoyable video. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll see you next time. Bye.